Welcome to Toffee TV. We've been looking back at last season, and in looking back, we're looking forward now. That was slick, wasn't it?
Mm-hmm. Better than your other 7 takes.
8. We are looking at who should stay, who should go, and maybe who should go on loan for next season. So it's a look back as we look forward. Yeah. So let's get straight into it. Jordan Pickford. I think he's going to stay, isn't he? Yeah. So yeah, I think he'll be staying. Seamus Coleman. Stay. We'll stay. Yeah.
Comfortable stay.
John Joe Kenny. Now, played quite a few games, but really didn't get a look in at the end of the season with Seamus Coleman. So, do you look at that and say, might be worth sending him on loan for a year, or do you say, no, you're the backup right back, this is your job, and we're going to keep you there, and you might play some games here or there, and obviously you'll play games if Seamus Coleman is injured. Is he enough along his development to be that backup player, do you think?
I think he's good enough as a backup, definitely. I think he'll get better the more games he plays. It's a tough one in terms of his development though, because do we send him on a short-term loan to say January, or do we have a break clause in January, put him out on for a year? But what happens if Seamus gets injured in like September, and then we're going, who's going to play right back here?
Yeah.
You know, and then having to accommodate someone out the 23s who hasn't played really, or putting a midfield player at right back. So I don't think you can always let people go out the door without, obviously the new manager might bring 3 or 4 or 5 players in, and one of them might be a utility midfield player or whatever who can go and do that role if we need it. Tom Davies could probably quite comfortably go and play that role. So it would be one of them, but I think haven't we learned this season from the Leighton Baines thing that you need the backup in the club? It needs to be there, and you know.
I think if a new manager comes in and he establishes that obviously John Joe Kenny is the backup, then that's fine. I think that's fine. I think training every day with top class players, or some top class players, will make you better. He's got the experience of last year. I worry sometimes that once a player's had a taste of playing at the high level, and we've seen this in other players by the way as well, is that once they've had that taste of playing in the Premier League and the high level, it almost accelerates their, you know. Galloway's a good one for this. You know, he had a taste of the Premier League. He played. He looked good, and then it was like, well, yeah, we'll send him on loan. And then suddenly he was with a manager, wasn't really bothered with him. And then he went to Sunderland, and his development's just fallen away because he had the highs of playing in that Premier League and being in a Premier League club and being with Everton, and that just seems to have been dismantled at Sunderland. Whereas I think maybe if we kept them around, and said, you wanted here, son. You know, you'll be in and around the squad, and you'll get opportunities when they arise. Then I think you get more out of that than going.
He'd have been playing last season, wouldn't he?
Exactly.
That's what happens. I think the other thing which was overlooking, I suppose, at Kenny is that Mason Holgate can play right back and do that job. It's not as good.
See, I don't like that though.
No, but what I'm thinking of is if you're talking about development. So if we're looking at John Joe Kenny and going, right, we think you would benefit from going to Derby County, for argument's sake, till January, trying to get in their team, and we'll look at it again in January. Might extend the loan, we might bring you back, because Seamus Coleman's the number one, and Seamus Coleman is gone. If he's fit, he's playing, and that's the way it is. And if Seamus gets a calf injury and is out for a week or 2 weeks, we'll use Mason there.
But isn't John Joe Kenny more like Seamus Coleman than Mason Holgate is?
He is. See, what I'm saying
is why I don't like that.
No, but that's the juggling thing. It's do we push him further along by saying go and play 20 games in the first half of the season in the Championship?
But what if he doesn't play 20 games? This is what I'm saying.
But you bring him back in January.
No, but this is what I'm saying. I'm talking about the development of a player. I think this is where this is what maybe one of the most difficult things. See, the thing with Mason Holgate is, I think now, you know, I think now you should be looking at Mason Holgate and saying, you're a centre back, a Premier League centre back. You've done a little bit at right back, but we see you as a centre back. And also, if there's a vision at the club, if a new manager brings a vision, for me again, players should be dropped in and dropped out of similar kind of players. Mason Holgate's not Seamus Coleman and never will be like Seamus Coleman, but John Joe Kenny's a little bit like him. He likes to get forward more than he can likes defending. He likes to put the ball in the box. You know, he's a similar kind of player, and I think
I'm not advocating. I'm just saying that's what the crux of the problem is. It's do we let him go and play in front of 25,000 fans every week?
This is where we went wrong with Galloway. Not Galloway. This is where we went wrong with Garbutt. We had a backup for Baines. It was like an identa Baines. He should have been the backup left back at the time, and he should have been getting played when Baines wasn't available for whatever reason. And instead we sent him out on loan. We broke his leg. Never the same. And then you've got players who aren't left backs playing left back who don't play like anything like Baines. But you had a backup there who, if you'd looked after, could have come in because it keeps the team ticking over.
Well, this is where the identity of the side will come in, isn't it? If manager comes in and goes, this is how we play, he'll want players who play exactly the same, so that when you drop one in and drop one out, the continuity isn't messed up. That's what'll be key. So if we play, it's like David Moyes, his fullbacks before anyone else was using them the way we did. His fullbacks were the key elements of our side. So if you take James Coleman out and put Mason Holgate there, he's never going to do the job that Coleman's doing. So your team already becomes unbalanced, which is what happened to us last season on the left hand side. John Joe Kenny was flying up and down the right wing, or trying to, but Cuco Martina, every time he got it, was turning and facing back to his own goal and passing it. So we had nothing. We were playing with 2/3 of the pitch, and it just become very easy for teams to mark us. So that'll be the crux. It'll be, do we keep him around and just say, no, this is how we play, and you're going to get League Cup games, and you're the backup, you're the number 2, or do we say, we've got cover if need be, you go out and play every week if you can? I don't know.
I just don't think that loan market. I think the loan market should be the bridge between the 23s and the first team. And I just think that once you've been, I think if a player's been in the first team and then the following year goes on loan somewhere, I think you're basically just saying you're not good enough for us.
Yeah. Well,
so therefore, I don't think you're ever going to be good enough.
That's the judgment call.
I don't think you're ever going to be good enough if that happens. So, like Baines, obviously.
Keep Baines.
Phil Jagielka.
See, I keep Jags. I think next season, the days of him starting.
Oh, we said this last year.
The thing is, that was our best defender.
I know.
At the moment, he's our most reliable defender. I think as we move forward, again, depending on the type of manager that comes in and what he wants them to do with the ball, get a ball playing. The new manager might want a ball playing team. He might want Mason Holgate and Michael Keane as the 2 centre backs, and go, you just defend because you're not great with the ball. Give it to Mason Holgate. He's the one who'll bring the ball out. To me, it's still lacking experience. But then again, we've been linked with like Alfie Mawson, who's only in his second season, would only be really in his second season in the Premier League. As good a defender as he is, a young lad. But I would keep Jagielka around for those reasons, whether it's emergency, League Cup maybe against the lower league, that, because it's not like he's being embarrassed in the Premier League, because he's certainly not. But obviously he's 36 now.
Yeah.
But I would definitely keep him around a place, because we made this mistake letting Hibbert and Osman go out. Not saying we should have kept them playing sidewise, but if you
leaders,
people go out the door who know the club.
Sometimes you need leaders, and
you need people to bridge it when new players come in, to go, come with us, and that kind of thing. So
it's an interesting. I'd definitely 100% keep him, because I just think that you're right. There's not enough stability at the back to say, oh, you can go now because everything's all right. So I think there definitely has to be some kind of stability. And you're right, he's finished the season as our best centre back. You can't just go, well, nice one, mate. We'll take it from here. Doesn't work.
No.
Going back to the goalies because missed this. Robles is leaving.
He's leaving. I'd keep him. I'd like him to stay because I think he's an age.
I wouldn't.
But it's about himself. He's 27. It's his own career.
I think at 27, I think he deserves a crack somewhere now, and I think he's had enough of an apprenticeship now and needs to go and play.
Well, it looks like he's going to get Toffee.
Yeah. So I think that's right. Stecklenburg.
Let him go.
Yeah, I'd let him go.
I'd try and get a younger goalkeeper to work with Pickford, and someone who's happy to build himself up.
That's interesting though, because I think sometimes though,
we've been linked with Gomez from Watford, who's 37.
So I wouldn't want him, but I think I wouldn't mind like to be honest, Stecklenburg's he's actually not too bad to be for a backup goalkeeper. So actually I might be on the fence about that, because do you know what I'm thinking about it?
It's who's available, who you can get.
He's the kind of goalie I'd like as backup, so I'm thinking, well, why would I want to get rid of him?
It's just, I don't know whether he'd want to stay, because does he see himself, if he's happy to sit on the bench and be the backup?
He seems to be happy being the backup everywhere he's going.
Well,
let's say like I think Everton need like a 30-year-old backup goalkeeper who understands the role that he's at. I think see, this is the thing about goalkeepers. See, I think a good goalkeeper backup is also a good coach. I think the goalkeepers spend so much time with each other that the backup is a coach as well. And I think that's why it's always worth having a bit of experience. He's got enough problems. It's always good having someone who's been around, who can pass that experience over, while they're with each other. So to be honest, Stecklenburg wouldn't mind if he stayed. But if he goes, then there's replacement would have to be someone almost similar to him.
I don't know.
But I just think you need that little bit of experience as well.
You do, but your goalkeeper coaches are supposed to.
I know, but it doesn't always work like that. I think
but it's who you'd get who's able and stuff like that. So you're going to Europe and get a European goalkeeper.
That's what I'm saying. Well, Stecklenburg would have got one.
No, that's what I'm saying. I said go because I was thinking he probably wants out, probably on it. But then again, if he's happy to stay and happy to sit on the bench, he's done a decent job when he's come in. It's just you can't rely on him. And Pickford's so much better.
But that's it. One will always be better. But you do need a backup goalkeeper
who's happy to.
So
and there's Hewlett's there as well, isn't he? So but he needs the bridge, doesn't he? Between Pickford.
I think we do need the backup keeper. Does need to be a little bit experienced. Then if he stayed, it wouldn't bother me if he stayed. It wouldn't bother me, because Pickford, it is that kind of role. But you never know with football. Hugo Martina
out the door.
Yeah, he'd be gone for me. I just don't
100%.
I just don't think he's good enough. And
he's not good enough at right back, which is his position. So he's done us a job this season when we needed him to.
Adios.
But
no,
if we're going to move forward as a football club, you've got to go.
For me, like we were talking about before, he doesn't have the factors that the other fullbacks have. No. He's not a carbon copy. He's not a good enough defender in terms of like you want to just if you haven't got Coleman because he's injured, and you go, well, we'll throw him in. He's not good enough. He's not a good enough defender. So if he doesn't play like them, and he's not a carbon copy, but on the other side he's not just like you can throw him in and it can be a stopper, and he's just not good enough for me. I'd with a couple of years on his contract, I'd just get rid of him, see who wants him and let him go. He's just clearly not good enough. And the better players you can have, this squad needs cutting down anyway.
Does.
And people need to go. Ashley Williams,
go. Yeah, I was even thinking about it.
He went at Burnley for me.
Yeah, he's gone. He's gone.
No, he's listening.
I don't think he wants to be here anyway.
I think in his first season he was okay.
He
did the job.
Yeah.
And like last summer I was advocating him, going back to Swansea, get him in the Gylfi Sigurdsson deal, because I think that would have been a good workaround. I just don't think he's good enough. And again, he's. With him, it should be him or Jags. And Jags is miles more commanding and dependable, and it means something to him as well. And I think that's really important. Where Williams, it's not there. The love's not there from him to us or us to him. Just doesn't. and he worries about his own performance, which means that he worries about his own performance. Whereas Jags, when you watch him playing with Keane, he's getting Keane through the game as much as himself, which shows a lot more about him as a player than it does.
It's digging in for each other, isn't it? Williams digs in for himself, or appears to, and ironically didn't when he was playing for Wales, which is weird. But
that shows you everything you need to know about him. I'd let him go. Michael Keane,
keep.
See, a lot of people would say let him go, though. Would say. I think there's a lot of people out there who would say, do you know what? Actually, I don't think he's good enough. I don't think he'll ever be good enough. So
in the England side,
he's not now.
No, but he was.
But he's not now.
Had a very good. Well,
no, I know, but I'm saying
football changes, doesn't it?
Yeah, because he's got worse.
He's had not a great season.
He's been garbage, Baz. Let's be honest.
But he's moved for a.
No, I know, but I'm just saying
for
he's
a big
garbage.
fee. Well, that happens in football.
He's let everyone down.
He hasn't let everyone down at all.
Mostly his family.
I'd keep Keane. I think under a new manager, let's see what he's like.
Okay, that's fair enough.
That's what I would say.
I probably agree with you.
People are quick to throw people out. Oh no, he's crap. And some of the, I think he's had some good performances this season. Other times he hasn't played.
If there's an opportunity to buy a better centre back, and he has to go because of it, I'd let him go.
That's up to you.
No, I'm just saying.
We need three.
No, I know, but if there's an opportunity to bring better in,
well, you bring a better one in to play alongside him.
But no, if there's an opportunity to bring better, and it means replacing him, then I would.
Oh, well, that's fair enough.
That's what I'm saying.
That's fair enough.
Funes Mare,
out the door.
Yeah, I don't think he's good enough, and I don't think he ever will be good enough. And I think again, maybe he'll have a decent World Cup, and if he has a decent World Cup, sell him on the back of it.
Yeah, most definitely.
Because I just don't think he's good enough.
He's not, is he?
No. It's not about thinking. It's not good enough.
He's a decent defender, but not for the Premier League. I think he'd be better for Barcelona or something in Spain. No, but because...
No, I think maybe for someone like Villarreal, he would do very, very
well. Whoever, I just think he'd do alright. I think it's the slower pace that suit him.
Not having to make so many decisions. I'd suit him as well, I think.
Yeah.
Garner,
keep.
Yeah, I think again he's another one who
he needs
would benefit from players being around him, better players,
and benefit from a coach actually coaching him.
Yeah,
what areas to run in. Oh, he would. He simply would.
No, he would.
You know, he's been left to. You know, he was under Remy Gard at Villa, and then he comes to Koeman, who didn't seem like he coached anyone. He just let them get on with it, and then Allardyce, who whatever he done was in his Villa. So I think he needs a coach who'd get hold of him, because he was magnificent when he was in France, because he had a coach who was very clear in what he wanted him to do, and he's been really good for Everton. He didn't have a great season this season. He was up and down, but he's still, at the moment, certainly the way we played this year and last year, he was key to us. But I still don't think he's at the level he did August to January in his first season. He was incredible. He was man of the match every week.
Yeah, he was.
And then Sneijder come in and muddied the waters after he went to African nations. He come back, and I don't think he's ever got back up to that level.
No, I don't think he has, but let's hope he can.
Yeah.
Morgan Sneijder.
So, come back alright, put in a few decent performances near the end of the season, but if we're gonna challenge higher up, then we need more dynamism in the midfield. If you can't get about the pitch quickly enough, you have to be a brilliant footballer, i.e. someone like Rooney, who struggles, but Sneijder isn't a brilliant footballer. He's good at what he does, but I just think
it's hard not
I think the way football's going and the way we are, we're not strong everywhere else. So, do you know what I mean? It'd be probably him or Garner for me. That's who would have to play in that role, and I just think Garner does it.
I just don't think his heart's in it.
No, he'll probably, whatever.
No, and I think he's looking for a quiet life somewhere.
I think we need a box-to-box midfielder. Because Garner can't do it at the other end, he can't.
Yeah.
But we need someone who's Like that Decore at Watford who does both jobs. That's what we need.
Yeah, so this Morgenstein out the door. Tom Davies.
Keep 100%.
So again, not tempted by a loan.
No,
I'm not because
he can do 3 different jobs, and I feel he will benefit massively from having a coach who coaches him, who actually goes, these are the areas you need to be in.
And ultimately, he's had 18 months in the Premier League. He ain't going to improve by going on loan somewhere. He's just not going to improve.
I've said it before, for the type of midfielder we want, he's the closest thing we've got to wanting someone who goes after the ball and presses it.
I think he needs a manager or a coach who'll come in and look after him and give him a role to do and the first thing you need to do with a player is identify the role, and then you say to him, well, that's your role, so these are the skills you need to do it, and then you sharpen those skills up. You know what I mean? Like at the moment, I just think he's like some games he's like pressing from the front, some days he's playing deeper. We've seen him all over the place, and you just think while he's doing that, he's got to work on all these different things, and I know he's got to work on basic things as well. But I just think a coach will come in and go, even if he said to me, you know, there might be times you play right back or something, well, you know what I mean, just work on certain parts of your game and try and get them better, and then you'll become a better player because of that. And I just think that's what a good coach would do to him. Whereas at the moment, again, under Allardyce, I think he was just like used, go and do that job and run round a bit, and no one's actually looking after the interest of the player. So I think he would benefit from a coach really identifying how to use him. I think that's something that needs to be done.
Definitely.
Kevin Morales.
Go. Don't even need to think.
No, just go. Just you've had your time at the club. Now go.
Listen, if you go on loan to a club that you apparently love and want to be there and still can't do it, and they send you back, then what hope have you got? I think he needs a change of
I think he needs a wake up call.
He needs a wake up. He's 30. You know, he's got a few years left, and that's it. He's done. I think maybe a change of scenery, i.e. maybe the Premier League is where he needs to stay. You know, someone like West Ham would be perfect for that kind of club. No, but that, because who's going to take him? I don't know who's going to take him.
Someone will take him.
Yeah, or France. He was good in France. Go back to France.
Someone will take him.
But out the door for me. Mo
Besic.
It's a tough one, this, because I like Mo. I think he's got a lot of good attributes, and again, I think he's someone who would benefit from a coach actually giving him a role, an identified role. I think what's let him down is injuries. You know, he was under Martinez. He get himself back into the swing of things and then get injured. He got that knee injury under Koeman in pre-season at United and was out for a season when he would have been playing. I think he would have been. Koeman would have liked him, I think, the way he is. And then obviously this season he wasn't in the thinking, so he went out to Middlesbrough and has been very, very good. I know he played some games in the first half of the season, but he was in for a game, played centre-back at Atlanta and stuff, and then he was out and you didn't see him again, like with a few other players. But he's been fit since Christmas. Middlesbrough made up with him. They want to buy him. But again, I'd like him to stay because I think he's one of them who the passion's there and he's a good footballer. I don't know if he's quick enough, and therefore it's one of them is if you're going to buy better and you want to move forward, is he good enough to get into that? Not seen enough of him because he's never been able to put a run. But I think without a shadow of a doubt there's a player in there, and I think he's a very good player.
I'd let him go because I think again for the sake of himself and his own
4 years he's been in
his own career, I think he needs to play regularly and get himself back to that platform. Unless you know the only other thing you say is we'll let you go on loan for a year if you think there's any kind of inkling that there might be a player in there. But that would purely come down to a manager's, and I'm only saying let him go. That's like I said before about like Robles. Sometimes you just want the best for the player. They've give service. Okay, it mightn't be to everyone's expectations, but they've tried to do the best. You can't say you can say that about Besic. He's tried his best. It just hasn't worked, whether it be injuries or or whatever. So, to be honest, whatever's best for him at this point. If he wants to stay,
he might want to stay. He might think, you know what, the reports have been very good. Back to Everton, get pre-season, new manager, and have a right good go at it and see where.
If he wants to stay and fight for his place, then I'll say, you know what,
so be
have
it,
a go, have a go, see what happens. But I don't know. Well, you know,
it's rough one.
Heart says let him go, but well, my head says let him go, but my heart says, you know, Theo Walcott.
Yeah.
Stupid. Tosin. Yeah. Sancho?
Again.
See, I'd let him go. I don't think his heart's in it. His heart, he's already said he wants to stay.
Yeah.
And I know that shouldn't be enough, but I just don't think his heart's in it. And I've seen enough of him to think, you wouldn't be a top Premier League player. You wouldn't be a top. I don't think he would anyway. Because I just don't think his heart's in it to try and be one.
Yeah, I think you're right. It's disappointing because he looked like he had something, didn't he? You know, when you looked at him and that Malaga, the goals he scored, and then in the UEFA tournament in the summer, you thought, looks like a good player, this kid.
Looks like a workhorse.
You know, he works hard, he's going to do this, he's going to do that. Don't think, maybe he just hasn't got the physicality, maybe he doesn't want to do that work, or maybe he's just been damaged so much by being excluded that he just thinks, there's no point me being there. No, I don't want to be there because they haven't made me. Not that people haven't made his time enjoyable, but he just hasn't had a chance. No. So what's the point almost? And I think once a player kind of gives up a little bit on that, it's difficult to get them to turn the head the other way. Do you know what I mean?
If you go, he's gone back to Spain, and okay, it hasn't been great for him at Seville.
Goal, has he?
But if he's happy there, and ultimately that's what it comes down to, if he's happy there and comfortable there and prefers that way of life, which just some people just do, you know, we've seen plenty of players come out of countries and you're expecting big things and you just haven't been able to settle, and they've got injuries or they just haven't played games and they've gone back home, and then suddenly it's like it's happened again and you're like, okay, hell, but it happens.
Soldado come here, didn't he, with the great goal scoring record, and couldn't.
But plenty of people have gone from
2
here.
pens and then went back, didn't
Plenty of people have gone from English people or whatever, British people have gone to the continent and just been having been able to do it for whatever reason. So yeah, I'd cut out losses and let him go. And give the number 9 to Tosin. Ademola Lookman,
keep 100%.
Keep and put in the first team.
Yeah,
give him a run.
100%.
Hopefully, you know. Hopefully he wants to come back. I mean, listen, he's under contract, I know, but you know what I mean. Like mentally, I hope he wants to come back and fight and have a go. And
I think he does, mate.
But I don't know though. I just don't know, because I just think that again, you're players being damaged. I just hope he understands it's a fresh start.
The manager's gone.
No, I know, but he didn't play a lot of games for Koeman either after the initial sort of.
I've got no worries about him. I don't think everyone want to sell him and won't at the moment. So
hopefully they won't. Dominic Calvert-Lewin, stay.
Yeah,
good lad. Works out. Nias,
stay 100%.
Yeah,
100%. Still buy another striker.
Yeah.
See, this is the thing with Dominic Calvert-Lewin. You see, I'd be tempted to get him out on loan.
Why though?
Because
where would he go and improve himself?
Because
Germany,
right? Because I think Nias needs to stay, because Nias is quite happy sitting on the bench and coming on and affecting stuff, right? I would like us to get another centre forward, who can put the ball in the net.
So let's have 4.
And 3 aren't going to sit on the bench. They're not.
Who honestly, let them fight for it. Trial by combat.
Well, I'm just saying that Dom maybe, because I think he needs to sharpen up on his finishing. I do. His finishing's the.
But I think his all-round game, in terms of being a centre forward, is better than Nias's, and Nias puts the ball in the back of the net.
But
you need
does the business end of it.
You need all of it.
That's you. I'm just saying. I'd be thinking about a loan, a short-term loan.
I wouldn't.
To get.
I just don't see the point. I don't see the point
of
it, because all you're doing. But what I'm saying, and we said this before, is you put them on loan. Why are you putting? All you're doing is, it feels like when you put someone on loan like that, you're just parking them somewhere else to play games.
Well, you are, to get them games and goals.
But I don't see the point of that.
What's the point of them staying if he gets 15 minutes here in the Premier League.
Because you're fighting for your place.
But if
Nias, there's no I'll be honest, there's no guarantees in Nias. And Tosin, there's no guarantees with Tosin either.
That's why we need to buy a centre. The person who'll get the least goals out of them three is Dominic Calvert-Lewin.
But you never know.
But I do.
But you don't know that.
At this moment in time.
Who scored the most goals last season out of those three players?
Nias.
Sure.
He got 8. Calvert-Lewin got 6. Calvert-Lewin got 8. And Tosin got 5. Well, he didn't. He got 6 and 6 assists.
Well, yeah, there you go.
Well, there you go. Yeah.
So Dom's had a big influence on not only scoring goals and assists.
But you're talking about goals, aren't you?
And
you're talking about like Dom's played more. Nias played.
Dom can play in other positions as well.
Nias played half a season when you look at the games he was involved in. Dom's played the full season, including European games. Tosin come in at Christmas, played 1, missed 3, and got back in. Tosin's got 5 in 11, 1 and 2. Dom's got 6 in about 40 odd. So you can. I'm not saying he's not a good player, and I'm not saying he's not going to develop into a good goal scorer. What I'm saying to you is, me personally, Nias is there because he's a fucking nuisance and will score goals. Tosin's your main man at the minute, and I think he should be the main man. I think he's a good player. I will be looking. I'd go and get Dembele personally from Celtic, someone who's in between, someone who can be developed, someone who's quick and big, but definitely another centre forward who can put the ball in the net. And then Dominic Calvert-Lewin comes there, and then he has to be a piece of every one of those other three. And if he starts developing and putting the ball in the net, then you go down and go, right, well, he's overtook Oumar Nias now, so maybe it's time to sell Oumar Nias. But at the minute,
I think the only way that's going to happen though is if Dom is at Everton. I just don't. For a lad who's played 18 months in the Premier League, or two years in the Premier League, I think you're putting him on loan now. You're just basically parking him somewhere else.
I just think it's
unless it's another Premier League team, and unless he plays every single week.
I just think it's easier.
I know, but there's that word easy though, isn't it?
It's easier though for him to develop playing in a team and scoring goals than it is to get 10 minutes here and there, especially as a centre forward. Tom Davies is different because midfield players can go and play right back, play right side of midfield, play through the middle, play off the striker. They've got 3 or 4 positions they can occupy, and it's all about positional sense with midfield players and getting around the box and getting. So you're training every day with that. Finishing becomes a thing when you play games and play more games. Now if he's only getting, if the new manager comes in and goes, right, Cenk Tosin, good goal scorer, I've looked what he done there, we can compliment him by say Adam O'Loughlin that side, Theo Walcott that side, or that Lozano whoever they're linked with, or Ziyech, one of them, right, someone who's fast and direct, we can compliment him. And then we've got Oumar Nias who can swap with him, or we need another centre forward who can go round the corner and keep the ball and get us goals. If that's the situation, a new manager might come in and go, Dominic Calvert-Lewin, young up and coming striker, made up with him. Oumar Nias puts the ball in the net, I know he'll work hard, and Cenk Tosin's the goal scorer. Between them 3, we're sound. I'll buy another winger, don't need a striker because I've got, but you might need another forward, but if we get another forward, personally I think Calvert-Lewin then becomes number 4, and I don't think, unless you're going to play with 2 up front and then have 2 strikers on the bench, great. I don't ever see a situation with 3 strikers on the bench, and with the 3 strikers on the bench you'd go with seniority, unless Calvert-Lewin's amazing in training, then he takes the place, and that's fine. Fight for your place on the bench.
It's about development, isn't it?
But if he's not getting any game time, then his development will stagnate because he's not playing games, and then he doesn't play games for Everton, then he's looking like Lookman, right, well I want to play football, so I need to go out on loan then. I want a game of football. I'm not playing, I'm getting 10 minutes every 3-4 games. We haven't got Europe this season, so we can't pad the games out for him. League Cup, yeah, but we're normally out by the second bleeding round of it. So that's all I
suppose it comes down to ultimately what system the new manager plays and how he uses players.
I'm not writing them off because Harry Kane bounced around on loan.
So again, so Nias.
Yeah, I keep Nias just because it's just like I've just said. I think he's happy being part of the squad, and it's those players who can just get a goal off their arse or whatever, they're invaluable. Especially in a team that doesn't exactly rain goals, you know what I mean?
Vlasic.
I keep Vlasic. Again, I think it's another one where you don't really know what he's capable of. And has he ever been put in the Everton team with a role? Do you know what I mean?
Well, he's about development, isn't he?
And he's a young boy.
He's about developing.
Coming out of the country.
These players. He's got something about him, but
you know,
it's about developing him again in a system. Like it's about Tom Davies.
Yeah.
What you do well. Where can we play you? How will you fit into this system? How will you be used in my system?
And the other thing as well, mate, is, and I think you might have said it before, if better players become available, you buy them, and then this is how you go forward. I like Vlasic. I think he's a good player, but if you said to me, well, it's this lad who's dead fast, can beat 3 or 4 men, score goals, or Nikola Vlasic, I'd go, yeah, get me in.
Yeah.
Nico, thanks very much.
Yeah,
superb. Or he might be back to thingy for a year on loan, Hadjic split, keep your football, then come back, we'll look at you next summer. That might be, I don't know, but what I'm saying is, for now, today, with the squad we've got, I would keep him.
Davy Klaassen.
I would keep Davy Klaassen. I would, again, identify a role for him. Can he do it? A new coach who might say, you know what, I think I can get you in by this. If it doesn't work by Christmas, put him up for sale.
Yeah.
Get him back on, or maybe get him back to Ajax on loan and then sell him in the summer.
It's about system, isn't it? About system that suits him, and has he got the physical attributes? Is he willing to step up?
The lad wants to stay, so therefore, new management team coming in might be going, you need to be building this up, you need to be doing this, and that's your role, and we play this system, this is the way we play, this is my team, and this is how I play, and I think you can do that job, and I'm going to look at you doing that job in these friendlies, and seeing if you can do that job. And he might come up short, and the first few games might start at the season. He's got to make a decision by it, in fact, before the season starts. So, pre-season's massive this season.
Mason Holgate, I don't know why he's at the bottom of the list, but because he's a defender.
Just remembered.
That's
I've also 2 players on there. I've just remembered they aren't even on there.
Yeah, one's Talishai.
3 players. The other 2 cost us 75 million.
Oh, okay.
Neither are on.
Well, you mean Sigurdsson and Balassi?
Yeah.
They're givens, isn't it?
Mason Holgate.
Mason Holgate, for me, I would like to think Mason Holgate will be starting the season challenging for one of the positions
at centre back.
Would
you be happy starting the season with Keane and Holgate centre backs?
If they've got Seamus and Baines next to them with Pickford after a year, I might be. Okay. In fact, if I'm worried about anyone in that back four, it's Keane.
Yeah,
it really is.
No,
Keane.
I'm not worried about Holgate.
Holgate, I think is an alpha. I've spoke about this before. I think he's an alpha. I think he's an alpha defender. I think he's willing to tell other people what he wants, and where he wants them. And he's got.
Problem is he switches off.
He's got fight in him. He's got desire. We've seen him in the derby. He's willing to have a little bit of needle. He's willing to, he's up for it. You're right. He switches off. He does what young defenders do. So does he need? I don't think he's like, when you've got one of those young defenders and they only come around once in a while.
Like John Terry.
Like John Terry, it's already in them.
Or Carragher even.
Someone like, took Carragher a little bit. And then, but I think he's got it in him. And I just think, he's got all the attributes to be a top defender.
Yeah.
Because I think he knows how to defend. I think he's good with the ball at his feet. I think he's got a little bit of pace. I think he's got everything required. It's whether he's got it up here, it's whether he's switched on in games and he sees the whole picture around him. Because ultimately, that's what makes you a good defender, is whether you can see what's going to happen before it happens. Yeah. That's why defenders, as they get older, some of them as they get older, you think, they're done, but they're not. That's why Jags can still play Premier League football, because even if he comes up against someone who is lightning fast, Jags knows where to put his body. Jags knows where to be. Jags can see the game because he's using all his experience. Okay, if he gets one-on-one with someone and they rip him, that's because they get one-on-one. Ashley Williams had that last season where he could see things, and he has, for some reason, he didn't have it this year, but he could see things. Maybe it was the way he approached it. Maybe he just lacked that little bit of pace in himself. But it's what top defenders do. They can see the game, and it's whether Holgate gets that, because I think you have to get that at some point. when you to tick over. There'll be defenders at the club. There'll be like the likes of Pennington, who I don't think will make it, because I think at 23, all right, I know he's just signed a new contract, and that'll gives him a bit of breathing space, and maybe they'll send him out on loan for another year. There'll be a point where, and I know he's only young, Morgan Feeney will have to go from. See, I think Morgan Feeney's actually got something about him already, but it's whether he can step that up. And he's got the attribute to actually step up, like the physical attributes. Is he fast enough? All those things. I think Mason Holgate is. I just think he needs to switch on and be switched on all the time. And he might need someone alongside him for the next couple of years, but Keane's not that man.
No.
Keane is not that man, because Keane needs someone next to him. And that's the thing. See,
but again, coaching.
Yeah.
Get into.
But I don't know if coaching. This is something you've just said about Dominic Calvert-Lewin. You might, this is the same instance for Holgate. I don't know whether coaching can actually do that. I don't know if he can.
I was talking about Keane.
Keane, yeah. But I don't think for Holgate, coaching can do that. I think this is a thing that you have inside you. That is the difference between a top defender and a normal defender. Is just being alive and just understanding where that player's going to go. Do you know what I mean? It is a pure footballing thing.
It is, but that's where, like we were saying, about the likes of Marco Silva, who, when Curtis Davis was talking about him, and that he put me in the position, walked us through where we need where we need to be. And if that's drilled into you, like Moyes did it, didn't he? It drills into defenders, and they get better and better. I mean, Joseph Yobo was all over the place. He got better under Moyes.
Lescott was. Lescott was a good defender, but
he was decent.
But he was made better by just getting the understanding of what was going on.
Leighton Baines went like that. Come in, couldn't get in. He was a good footballer, but he was like Nuno Valente was keeping him up, and Lescott was keeping him up, and you were looking and going, is he going to do anything here? He's come, and because you could tell he was a really good footballer, and then he just got in and done.
Well, it's interesting you say that, because I think defenders who play fullback can get away with that for a lot longer, because there's less defending, and you can take it's easier. I think it's easier to develop. I mean, let's not forget James Coleman came in and then was sent out on loan for a year to Blackpool and helped them get promoted, and then was ready to come back in the team. It's easier at fullback, I think, to do that, and that's why you see a lot of players start at fullback and then gravitate inside. We've seen that with Stones. We've seen that with Holgate as well. I think once you get into centre defence, you have to be. You've got to be at it.
But a couple of goals he was at fault for last season. West Brom at home, trying to step out. Rodriguez runs in behind him. That was a poor one. Tottenham at Wembley didn't know Kane was behind him. Jumped in a bit. The Bournemouth one, he dived in trying to win the ball. He had to engage King. He was probably
didn't have to. An experienced player.
He had to engage him. What he should have done was just carried on running with it. He just carried on running. And Man U at home, Lingard just went past him and Keane like they weren't there. So there's the odd thing, but then there's lots of other games when he's played really well. He was brilliant in the games against Liverpool. Absolutely brilliant.
He's good in a 3.
I'm very good in a 3. So,
but it doesn't have to be as switched on.
There's attributes there.
It's just whether you switch. I mean, I think the kid's got everything to be a top. He needs to get a bit bigger, and needs to get a bit broader, and the kid's got everything to be a top centre back. But I just think he needs to just. It was telling that early on in the season. He was with getting played with Williams a lot more, and Keane was getting played with Jags. As I say, I'd like him to be challenging for the spot.
I think he will be, because I think he's got, like you just said, he's got everything, and he's good on the ball. And every team nowadays generally needs someone good on the ball at the back.
James McCarthy.
I think
he's not going to be sold.
He's not going to be sold
because he's not going to be fit.
So obviously we have to assess him once he's back from the injury. Again, another one.
But he was good before he went out, wasn't he? He had that level.
He seemed to get he got the thing. But again,
injuries.
It's the injury. It's a few years now since he's been our midfield player.
Yeah, thanks Roberto.
Isn't it? And that's the thing. I can't
Yeah, I know.
Do you remember a time when he was our mainstay, other than under Martinez, and we've had Koeman, Allardyce?
I think we would have finished the season a lot stronger if he'd been in the team.
He would have, yeah, he would have. And he come on against United and snapped them and got into them, and then he was good. Pressing was really good because that's what he does really well. But again, last season he done that. The first season under Koeman, he was great against Liverpool, Arsenal, and then he got injured against Liverpool, and he was out then then he come back in, then he was out for months, and then it's again this season.
The worst thing is he never really had injuries till that injury.
The injury. Played every game, and then Martinez bollocks them up. So I don't know. I mean, he's not going anywhere anyway, but I think you'd have to see how he is. Sigurdsson, yeah.
I think next season he might find himself the main man in that midfield.
Depends if fancy him, yeah.
Balassi.
Yannick Balassi. See, I like Balassi. I like what he has. Don't like the fact that he overcomplicates everything, and it frustrates me. And I like him. I think he wants to do really well for us because I think he knows he's at a big club. But it wouldn't really bother me if he sold him.
I would be prepared to cut ties with him. I really
because
would.
I think Lookman
if it got a Zaha.
Well, exactly. Someone like Zaha or even that Lozano, who we've been linked quite a lot with. Players like that, I will be prepared to go, yeah, you know what, if Palace want him or someone wants him in London, you know, Fulham might come up and want him or whatever, then yeah, I'd be prepared to cut my losses with him. But I think if he simplified his game, he'd be much better. He's 28, he's not going to, is he? But that's what he should be trying to do because it'd make him much more effective.
Definitely.
Wayne Rooney, you'd have
I was saying Wayne Rooney for last.
Okay.
Shani Tarashay.
We don't even
let the kid go.
Yeah.
Just let him go for God's sake. Wayne Rooney, I suppose, is the big one, isn't it?
Again, another one I'm really torn with, because I actually think that a good coach with a system could get more out of him. I think he could complement. The thing with Wayne Rooney is he needs legs. There is no point having him in a team where your midfield isn't capable of getting around the pitch.
I think this all comes down to Wayne Rooney, and it all comes down to what he wants. He's said that he wanted to know what his role was in the team. Now, what is that? I want to know if I'm going to play every game, or does that mean this is a big problem I think that Allardyce made last season, was he tried to play him in every game and then only played him for an hour. Well, he shouldn't have done that. For me, what he should have done is said, Wayne, you're going to play half the games, you're going to play 90 minutes in them. You're going to be
you'll be shoved for the other
and you'll be as fresh as you can for those games, but you'll get through those games and we'll play it in, and that means that, see, I think it was like every game he played him in that midfield role, and in the second half of the season he just looked jaded. So it didn't, if you're starting to play it every game for an hour and then you're giving them an hour, you're not going to get the best out of them. Then maybe if you half the games and say, but you're going to play the whole game, you're going to get everything out of them.
Also, his form dipped when Gylfi went out.
No, definitely. When Gylfi went.
And even though we done all right, when Schneiderlin came in the
even though they're not supposed to play together on the same side, him and Gylfi, it definitely dropped off. I think what I meant by saying about Rooney is about it's up to him. It is up to him, because if he comes in and says, I want to play every game, then I'm sorry, Wayne. I seen over the weekend players leaving clubs, Torres and Iniesta, and Buffon, and it was brilliant because of the relationships. And I know Iniesta and Buffon are slightly different, but the Torres relationship was sort of the same. I know he's been there for a couple of seasons, and he gave them a couple of seasons before he left, but the relationship's sort of the same. Probably a bit more for Torres, obviously. But they don't want him now, right? They don't want him. It's not like this, hurrah, you retire. And they've basically said to him, you're not required anymore. So we want this to be as like amicable as possible. We're going to give you a boss send off, and then it's on your way. Go MLS or whatever, Newcastle, whoever wants you. So they give him a boss send off, and he knew the situation. He knew they didn't want him, and I just think that if Everton don't want him, I know it's whoever you listen to, there's different things, and obviously we haven't got a manager as we record, so it's difficult. But it would have been really nice if they'd said, listen, end of the season, Wayne, it might be better for all of us if you you want to go to America, go. Honestly, it'd probably be best. And we could have just given him a nice send-off at the end of the season, even though he wasn't fit or whatever. But thanks and goodbye. Everyone's happy with that. And I just think we've got this wrong so many times. We got it wrong when the likes of Leon Osman and Hibbert and Pienaar left. And whether you like those people or not, there was no consideration into the relationship with the fans. Tim Howard got one, yeah. But do you know what I mean? It's just like, I seen that and I thought, if he is going, it'll be sad, because it will just, that relationship will feel fractured again because of the way it's happened. But again, it comes down to Wayne. If he's asking for two, again with the thing with Torres, he doesn't play every game,
no.
And he knew his role at the club, and he was happy with that. And he played in some games, he didn't play in other games, and he didn't start in the Europa League final, did he?
No.
So
come on, no.
Yeah, so he knew his role.
He scored 2 yesterday.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, he started. Yes, he scored 2. He knows his role in the club, and that role was play some games, come off the bench in others, and when you play, you give everything, because you'll be fresh, and you've got to know how you're part of this.
Yeah.
And we've got to know you're part of it. So this would come down to the manager coming in and saying, right, I think you're a fantastic player, but you've got to know your limitations, and we've got to know your limitations, and we've got to know how to get the best out of you. And you've got to understand that. And I think, as I said, I think that's where Allardyce went wrong, playing him nearly every single game. But you know what's
in a role where it's difficult.
What's the point? Where he should have just said, Wayne, let's play our year and half the games. Let's get the most out of you, know them, so you're energised.
He mightn't have wanted that, really, though, might he? I don't know.
That's not up to him.
No, I know, but that's what I'm saying. But you're right, it's up to him. We need to sit down with him and go, you know, the new manager could come in and say, the way we play, you're not going to get enough game time under me, because it's all high press and it's this and it's that, right? So therefore do what's best for you. I'm not telling you to go, but I'm telling you I can't guarantee you games because of blah, blah, blah. The new manager might say, I see a role for you in this team. Not always, but and he might be quite happy with that. So it will come down to him. Rooney might say, "I'll tell you what, I'll give it till Christmas and see how it's worked out." Because I know DC want him now, but I'm quite sure, if he said, "Listen, I'm interested, but I want to see."
It reminds me of Zlatan, and I think, don't get me wrong, I think Zlatan had more to offer in terms of in position, but Zlatan got the injury, and it was Ruben and Aaron, and the injury sort of probably dictated a little bit more about where he was going, because he had to stay and rehabilitate. But Man United gave him another goal this season, and it was like, nah, you don't quite fit in. Let's all cut our losses now, and everyone was happy with that. So it would be, he'd lose it if he went now. Obviously, he could go straight into MLS halfway through the season, get ready for it.
He's tired, isn't he?
No, I know, but he's gonna have a month off, isn't he? Can't go anyway till the middle of July. So,
and then he's got August, September, and the season finishes.
Whereas, for them,
that's what I'm saying.
October. But then you get Christmas off, and then he'd get refreshed, come back, get refreshed, and have another go at it.
Full season.
But
what I was saying was he could try it out at Everton.
Yeah.
Until Christmas.
No, till January.
Yeah, well, he can't go till January when the window opens. But that's what I'm saying. But he could get to Christmas and have not really been played and be like, I'm ready to go now. And he could go, have a bit of time off, because they're training. But
then it's the window, isn't it? It's dictated by DC's window.
Yeah, but they can get him in January.
No, what I mean is, they might say, well, we want a big star to open up our. We've got this much money
for now.
We want a big start up in our stadium. If it's not going to be you now with them, it's not going to be you ever. We'll pass and we'll go get someone else. So I suppose that all plays a part. But as I said, this is down to Wayne Rooney to know what he wants and what he doesn't.
He just needs to sit down with the new manager.
If he thinks he's going to play 38 games next season, then he should leave. It's as simple as that. Let's move on to the loan signings. Kieran Dowd.
Again, look at him in pre-season. I think he's had...
But then all of these are just going to be looking at pre-season.
Well, no, because I think he's had... Is he good enough to get in our team at the moment?
No.
He's not, because
he's not good enough to get in the Forest team.
No, so he doesn't stay in games long enough. He'd had a really good 3-quarter season, but the last quarter, he's dropped off and been out the team. I think he's got loads of talent. I don't know whether a different manager could get it out of him. I don't know. But he's got ability. There's no question about it. Can we get a tune out of him? I'm not sure. Depends out. I suppose.
Another loan?
Yeah, I think so. I think so, because I think even a short term on again till January, because I think he's definitely got something. There's no question
he's
about
got something.
He's got the ability. He's got the physique. He doesn't work hard enough, I don't think.
He's a schoolyard player at the moment,
and that's the thing. And so,
but we've seen him in around January when they beat Arsenal in the FA Cup, and he looked brilliant in that game. But he just dropped off because he doesn't work hard enough. That's why he simply put out the team. Connolly at Ipswich,
he's had a very good season.
I'd sell him.
I'm not saying you keep him. I'm just saying he's had a very good season
for
Ipswich. He can play left back, right back, and in midfield.
I'd sell him.
But he's not a specialist in any of the three.
I think he's good enough. I just don't think he's good enough, and I think that's his level. And I think, well, know what I'd start doing? I'd start inserting buyback clauses into all these players. If you sell them, I'd put buyback clauses, all of them. It's what the top clubs do. You put buyback clauses in. They go away. They settle in. They get used to playing footy. Get comfortable in the surroundings, so it's not like, oh yeah, but I can go back there. They fight for it, and if they make it, you buy them back. We should have started that with Liam Walsh. Liam Walsh should have had a buyback clause in it, and I'd do the same for Connolly. Joe Williams at Barnsley had a good season, but ultimately they got relegated. He got injured later on.
Well, he's been injured. He hasn't played the last few, has he? I think I'd be tempted to keep him. Because he's very highly rated.
Yeah.
I know he was doing really well at Barnsley. Man of the match loads of times. Get about the pitch. Let the new manager have a look.
Yeah.
But again, depends what's coming in. If you're getting... I've seen us linked with Van Hinkel, who used to be at Chelsea, who's gone back to Holland and had an unbelievable season. He plays through the middle. Is quick and scores goals.
Yeah.
If you're getting them kind of players, Joe Williams ain't getting in Everton's team, is he? And again, it depends who they move out. If they move Bezic out and Schneidlin out, and then bring one in, then there's.
I'd like maybe go on another loan, but maybe go and do a Premier League loan.
It's trying to get them in.
It's what it is, the gap, isn't it?
It's getting them into a Premier League team where they're gonna play.
Yeah.
So if you. That's why I was saying, like, full.
That's harder now. It's much harder now, though, isn't it? Because everyone coming up.
Cardiff have come up.
I know, but they're all looking to buy now, aren't
they?
That's what the teams did last. The teams last season bought. And they stayed up.
But Joe Williams could get in like the Huddersfield side.
I don't know if he could.
Oh, I think.
Or maybe a loan to a top end Championship team that's going to be fighting to come up.
To come back.
Fighting for something. Conor Grant.
No, I think I'd let Conor go.
Andy Robinson's an interesting one. He's just been called up for the American squad again. For the friendlies that are coming up, because obviously they're not in the World Cup. They're basically going for a young squad again and trying to build up. Part of the Bolton squad that just stayed up, and I think that's great that he was part of that. I mean, it's not great that he's playing for a team that were a lower team. I would probably put him back on loan. I don't know whether it be Bolton, or I'd challenge him to something a bit higher and maybe look for a club that would play him. I mean, they've got to play him. I mean, that's one thing. When he went to Bolton, he didn't play at first, but he fought his way into the team and got him into the team. It depends what they're looking for. If they look at him and say he's a genuine replacement for Baines in maybe 2 or 3 years, because we've seen him first and when we watched him, he looked great.
He did look very good.
Bombs up and down, loads of energy. Again, maybe you're just waiting for him to build out a little bit. Maybe they're thinking, well, maybe in 2 or 3 years' time, with games, maybe with someone like Bolton, we can get him in, and maybe that would stop them going after a young player like a Joe Bryan or someone, and maybe they wouldn't do that.
I think we need that player now, though.
No, but what I'm saying is, though, maybe a player now would be a little bit more 26, 27.
Maybe.
And he would come in.
Joe Bryan could come in, because there's no guarantee.
Or would you say to Robinson, well, you know what, we haven't got any left backs here, come in, have a go for a year with, like we're saying about John Joe Kenny, fight about Baines and be his backup.
Again, it's against systems. It's how we play.
But he's a bit of a like for like. I don't. He's not as good on the ball as Baines, obviously, but he's in a like for like 5 years ago for Baines. He's an attacking
fullback. Yeah, it's pre-season, isn't it? It's shape pre-season. Have a look what he's made of. Play him in some games.
Yeah.
Can he do it? If he can.
Yeah.
Sound.
And the last one is Herrion Nyekuru, which obviously it's not in our hands.
I believe, according to a journalist over the weekend, said because he's played Champions League games, and he's been in with a decent level team.
And the injury might have helped.
The injury stopped them going to the World Cup. Everton can apply for a work permit, and there's a chance that it'll be successful. If not, Borussia Mönchengladbach want him.
Well, he said he doesn't want to go. Well,
he's not going to go back to Anderlecht.
Okay.
Because he's not happy with that. Yeah. Whereas Mönchengladbach want him. If we can't get him, I'd be happy with him going to Germany for a year and really having a right good go and getting himself in the Nigeria squad and things like that. He looks like he's got the ability and the pace to offer something.
Do you think, right, we take the work permit out of it, do you think he might need another year because of that injury? Or maybe 6 months?
Maybe. I think the Anderlecht manager said he's not the same player at the minute because
he won't be.
He won't go into tackles because he's a bit worried. So obviously you will be. So it takes, maybe he just needs a break, go on holiday, come back pre-season, then the challenges come in. So yeah, maybe it'd be better for Everton's sake if he went on loan again.
Yeah.
And just got playing every week again.
I'd say a till January loan and then look at it
and reassess,
so that we've got the option. We've got the option there if we want it.
Yeah.
And just maybe get him there. So I think that's about it, isn't it?
That's it, mate. Yeah.
I mean, we've cleared at least 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 out the squad. At least 8 out the squad.
8, yeah.
So
if you replaced with 3 real quality and 2 who are good players, then you've freed up some space and you've improved the squad.
Yeah.
And in the ones we've kept, there's some question marks there.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah. Let us know your thoughts. Who would you keep? Who would you get rid of? I think that's the most important thing. And anything we've discussed, the loans, any of the loans, would you bring them back or would you send them, or would you get rid of some of them? Any you've disagreed with us, let us know. Is there any that we've said after goal that you're like, no, they deserve a chance? Sandro, Besic, I think them 2 spring to mind. Let us know your thoughts in the comments. Don't forget, if you haven't already subscribed, please do click the bell for alerts so you know exactly when a video comes out. And if you want more videos, more fantastic videos and podcasts, join us on Patreon. Thank you for watching. We'll see you later.